In the summer of 1342, workmen digging the foundations of a house outside Trapani in western Sicily broke through into a cave. They lit torches and went in. Facing the entrance, seated, was a man of enormous size. They ran. When scholars in Italy heard what had been found, they knew exactly what it was. It was the Cyclops. The man who wrote it down was Giovanni Boccaccio. In the 4th book of his Genealogy of the pagan gods, he recorded the discovery and identified the giant as Polyphemus, the one-eyed monster Odysseus blinded with a sharpened stake. Boccaccio had not been there. He was 400 miles away in Tuscany, and he was writing down what he had been told. If you're still here, a like and a subscribe genuinely help. It's how these keep getting made. Sicily is full of these caves, and the caves are full of bones. So is Malta, 60 miles to the south. In 1859, men digging a water tank near the Maltese village of Zebbug cut into a sediment-filled cavern and pulled out a tooth. It was an elephant's molar. There are no elephants in Malta. There never have been, in all of recorded history. They had been there, but not for a very long time. Between about 500,000 and 200,000 years ago, Sicily and Malta were home to elephants that had shrunk. Cut off on small islands with little food and no predators, each generation came out smaller than the last. The smallest of them, Paleoloxodon falconeri, stood under 1 meter at the shoulder. A full-grown adult male weighed about 300 kilograms. It was an elephant the size of a large dog. And this is where the story turns. Because of the shape of the skull, an elephant does not breathe through its nose the way you do. The trunk is a muscle, and it attaches to the front of the skull through a single enormous opening in the middle of the face. On a living animal, you never see it. On a bear's skull, it is the first thing you see, one huge round socket, dead center, where a forehead should be. The real eye sockets are there too. They sit low and far to the sides, half hidden behind the cheekbones, and on a weathered skull lying in cave rubble, they are easy to miss entirely. What you are left with is a skull the size of a human head, with a single vast eye in the middle of the forehead. In 1914, an Austrian paleontologist named Othenio Abel put the two halves together. The Cyclops of the Odyssey, he argued, was not invented. It was a fossil misread. The skulls were lying in the caves of exactly the islands where Homer put the monster, and anyone who found one and did not know what an elephant was would draw the same conclusion. It is a clean explanation, and it is repeated everywhere. Abel went further. He wrote that the Greek philosopher Empedocles had identified these bones as the remains of Cyclopes 2,500 years ago. That is the detail that made the theory feel proven, and it is the detail that gets quoted most. There is no surviving text in which Empedocles says any such thing. No ancient source describes anyone finding these skulls at all. So the evidence runs the other way round. The earliest documented case of a human being finding these bones and calling them a Cyclops is not ancient Greece. It is 1342, outside Trapani, 2,000 years after the Odyssey was composed. Those men were not inventing a myth when they saw the skeleton in the cave. They already had one, and they used it to explain what they were looking at. Which leaves the skull exactly where it was, and worth more, not less. It does not explain where Homer got his monster. It explains something better documented and stranger, that for at least 700 years, people have been walking into caves in Sicily and Malta, finding a one-eyed head in the dark, and reaching for the only story that fit. The Cyclops did not come out of the ground, it went into it.